Hand of Fate is a game that is flying under a lot of people's radars. It is a Kickstarter game that's been in early access for a while, but has finally been completed recently. In Hand of Fate, you play a game with a very peculiar character that is both the narrator and the game master. He sends you through adventures that are represented by cards on a table. Before you start an adventure, you have to create 2 decks of cards, one for equipment and one for encounters. Those dictate what challenges and items you will find on your way. The encounter cards are arranged to form a tabletop dungeon layout. If you come across a battle, the game switches from the tabletop to a combat arena. The battle system is heavily inspired by the Batman Arkham games, with its free-flowing combos and an emphasis on parries. While the game starts out slow with only very simple encounters being available, both the complexity as well as the difficulty spike before long and the game shows its true potential. Most of the encounters give you a choice. The choice can be very simple, like choosing to go into a treasure vault full of traps, or rather difficult, like giving a woman some of your food. Food that you need, as you use it up every time you move in true roguelike fashion. Choices are often underlined by a game of chance. You often have to pick among 4 cards to see if your choice is successful. One of the first ones you can encounter is a weapon at the bottom of a cliff. If you decide to go get it, you then have to check whether you get it unharmed, or fall down and lose some of your health. So most encounters can have grave consequences, which constantly keeps you on your toes. You can also encounter shops that let you buy items and food, heal yourself and break curses. Curses are status effects that stay active for the duration of the level you are playing and have some very interesting effects. The story levels start with predetermined curses, but you can also get new ones randomly during encounters. Curses include things like super cheap items at shops, but every time you buy something, you get a new curse, or a curse that makes you lose gold with every battle. There are also blessings you can receive, which work the same way as curses, but give positive effects. One of the smartest aspects of the game is the fact that you constantly unlock new cards to use in your deck. Most encounter cards unlock new cards the first time you beat them, ensuring a steady supply of new options with every new level you play, even if you die. Oh, and you will die. Well, the first couple of levels are rather easy. Sooner or later you will fight tougher enemies and use encounters that may yield greater rewards, but can also backfire and really destroy your chances of success. For example, there's a treasure vault that can give you a ton of items, but it could also take away over 60% of your maximum health, but it's all part of a good roguelike. While the game's story mode is divided into 12 smaller levels, all culminating in a boss fight, there's also an endless mode you can unlock that goes full rogue, as death is the only exit. To further spice things up, every 4 levels of the story mode you beat, you unlock a new artifact that permanently increases your starting gear, but also makes enemies tougher. With the combination of random elements and a steady progression, the game manages to feel fresh with every new game you play. Oh, and let's talk about your game's host. This guy is incredibly entertaining with his long-winded speeches and his constant passive-aggressive jabs at the player's expense.
A horse is a fine companion. I'm sure you'll leave this one in time. You do not seem to have the temperament for friends, even in the animal kingdom. I can see your eyes glinting from here.
I love this guy. So this game sounds pretty great, right? And it really is, but there are some issues. While the small team behind the game has used very smart design to work around the limitations, like the tabletop aesthetic and encounters mostly visualized in text, there are some major technical shortcomings like severe slowdown, cut-off audio, and the fact that the battle system is nowhere near as tight as the games it is inspired by. However, I can say that none of these issues detract from the game enough to deny the recommendation, as it is a game that is incredibly unique and blends elements that fit very well together to create something new and exciting. So if you like rogue elements, building decks, and traversing random dungeons, you should definitely check Hand of Fate out. It might just steal a lot of your free time.
The game begins. One lives and one dies. Let us see what you are made of.